Every major nation in World War II prepared for chemical warfare. Soldiers, civilians, and even children were expected to have gas masks ready. Some designs were practical, some were strange. And one was made for babies. Welcome to the complete guide to major World War II gas masks. We are covering military masks, civilian masks, child masks, and rare national designs. Each one tells us how seriously the world feared chemical warfare. Starting things off, we have the British General Service Respirator Mark IV. This was the standard British military respirator at the start of World War II. It used a rubber facepiece, a corrugated hose, and a chest-mounted metal filter canister. Reliable, practical, and battle-ready, it served British and Commonwealth troops across the war. Next, we have the British General Service Respirator Mark V. This was an improved version of the Mark IV. It kept the same hose and chest canister layout, but improved the face seal and comfort. A better seal meant better protection, which is kind of important when poison gas is involved. Let us continue with the British Light Anti-Gas Respirator Mark II. This mask was made for troops who needed something lighter and less bulky. It was easier to carry than the full General Service Respirator. The trade-off was less protection for long exposure, but better mobility in the field. Now we have the British General Civilian Respirator. This was the famous black rubber gas mask issued to British civilians. It had a filter canister mounted directly under the chin and came in a cardboard carry box. Millions were distributed, making it one of the most recognizable home front items of the war. Up next, we have the British Mickey Mouse Child's Gas Mask. It was designed for young children and used bright colors to make it look less terrifying. The large eye lenses and colorful facepiece were meant to feel almost toy-like. That sounds cute until you remember why children needed gas masks in the first place. Let us continue with the British Baby's Protective Helmet. This was made for infants too young to wear a normal mask. The baby was placed inside a sealed protective enclosure. A parent had to pump filtered air into it by hand, which is one of the darkest details of wartime civil defense. Now we have the German GM30 gas mask. Adopted in 1930, it became one of Germany's standard military respirators. It used a rubber facepiece with round eye lenses and a filter screwed directly into the chin. Its corrugated metal carrier became almost as famous as the mask itself. Up next, we have the German GM38 gas mask. This was an improved version of the earlier GM30. It offered better materials, improved lenses, and a more reliable face seal. It became one of the main Wehrmacht gas masks during World War II. Let us continue with the German Volksgasmask VM37. This was a civilian gas mask made for the German population. It was cheaper and simpler than the military models, but still offered real protection. Germany clearly expected civilians to prepare for chemical attack too. Now we have the German Volksgasmask VM40. This was a wartime simplified version of the VM37. It used less material and was easier to manufacture. You can almost see the pressure of wartime industry built into the design. Up next, we have the US M12 service gas mask. This was an American military respirator used at the start of World War II. It had a rubber facepiece and a chin-mounted filter canister. It served as the baseline before newer American designs replaced it. Let us continue with the US M2A1 and M2A2. These masks improved on the earlier M1 series. They offered better fit, better comfort, and improved filter design. Many American servicemen trained with and carried masks from the M2 family. Now we have the US M3 lightweight service gas mask. This mask was designed to reduce weight for soldiers in the field. It used a lighter facepiece and a more compact filter arrangement. The goal was simple: make a mask soldiers would actually carry. Up next, we have the US M4 lightweight service gas mask. This was a further improvement of the M3. It focused on lower weight, better comfort, and reduced breathing resistance, because breathing through a bad mask while marching is not exactly a luxury experience. Let us continue with the US. M5 Assault Gas Mask. This mask was built for assault troops who needed something compact. It had a lower profile, so it would not interfere as much with aiming weapons. It showed that combat respirators had to work in real fighting, not just in training manuals. Now we have the US M8 snout-type gas mask. This was one of the more unusual American designs. Its filter was built into a forward protruding snout shape. It was less common, but visually impossible to forget. Up next, we have the Soviet SH-M1 gas mask. This was an early Soviet military respirator used by Red Army forces. It reflected Soviet chemical protection planning from the interwar years. Like most Soviet field gear, it was built with function and mass use in mind. Let us continue with the Soviet O-8 gas mask. This was another Soviet respirator used by Red Army troops. It was designed for durability across harsh field conditions. On the Eastern Front, equipment had to survive mud, heat, snow, and everything in between. Now we have the Japanese Type 91 gas mask. Adopted in 1931, it was an early Imperial Japanese Army respirator. It served during campaigns in China and the early years of the wider war. It shows Japan's serious interwar investment in chemical warfare protection. Up next, we have the Japanese Type 95 gas mask. Adopted in 1935, it improved on the earlier Type 91. It had a better facial seal and updated filter design. This made it a more capable mask for Japanese troops before the Type 99 arrived. Let us continue with the Japanese Type 99 gas mask. Adopted in 1939, it became Japan's main military respirator of the war. It was more compact and practical than earlier designs. That mattered a lot in the difficult terrain of Asia and the Pacific. Now we have the Italian Pirelli T.35 gas mask. It was made by Pirelli, a company already famous for rubber production. That rubber expertise made sense for gas mask manufacturing. The T.35 served Italian troops across several World War II campaigns. Up next, we have the Italian M33 gas mask. This was an Italian military respirator, adopted in 1933. It was used from the Ethiopian campaign through World War II. Its long service life shows it was a practical and dependable design. Let us continue with the French ARS-17 gas mask. This mask came from France's long experience with chemical warfare in World War I. It was older by World War II standards, but still remained in service. France took gas protection seriously because it had already seen the horror firsthand. Now we have the French ANP-T31 gas mask. This was a more modern French respirator than the older ARS models. It had improved facepiece and filter technology. Sadly for France, the rapid defeat in 1940 limited its wartime career. Up next, we have the Polish WZ32 gas mask. This was Poland's standard military respirator, adopted in 1932. Polish soldiers carried it during the German invasion in September 1939. It was a solid design, even if history gave Poland very little time to use it. Let us continue with the Polish WZ38 gas mask. Adopted in 1938, it improved on the older WZ32. It arrived only 1 year before the invasion of Poland. That makes it one of the more tragic late pro-war designs on this list. Now, we have the Czechoslovak VZ35 gas mask. This was adopted in 1935 by Czechoslovakia's well-developed military industry. It was a strong and well-made Central European respirator. After occupation, German forces captured large stocks of Czech equipment, including masks like this. Up next, we have the Finnish M/38 gas mask. Adopted in 1938, it served during the Winter War and Continuation War. Finnish equipment had to survive extreme cold and brutal front-line conditions. That made this mask one of the more seriously field-tested respirators of the war. And last, we have the Hungarian 35M gas mask. Adopted in 1935, it was Hungary's standard military respirator. Hungarian troops carried it during their World War II service on the Eastern Front and in the Balkans. It was a competent mid-30s European gas mask, built for a threat everyone feared but hoped would never come. And that is every major World War II gas mask. 30 respirators from 10 nations that all faced the same question and answered it in 30 different ways. Chemical weapons were not used on a large scale in World War II the way they were in World War I, but the preparation for them was total. Reaching from frontline soldiers to children in English classrooms and infants in metal helmets with hand-pumped air supplies. If this video gave you a new perspective on the World War II home front and the scale of civilian preparation, drop a comment, like the video, subscribe for more World War II content, and we will see you in the next one.